Tonight on the Rockbridge Report.
Snowstorms have blown across the southeastern United States, catching some cities off guard.
Cutbacks to EBT programs have left Rockbridge families reeling. Stay tuned to find out how local food pantries are handling the problem.
Washington and Lee University hosted a fundraiser in Evans Dining Hall. All proceeds from the event went towards benefiting the county's children. Next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Kinsey Grant.
And I'm Stephen Young. The Virginia State Police have made new developments last night in a case that left one Washington and Lee student dead. Virginia State Police said they have obtained new warrants charging former Washington and Lee student Nicholas Perry Hansel with involuntary manslaughter and maiming. Police said Hansel was the driver in the one car wreck this past December that involved 10 other students, one of whom, Kelsey Durkin, died. Hansel was previously charged with driving under the influence. Lab tests show Hansel had twice the legal limit of alcohol in his system. County Commonwealth Attorney Bucky Joyce said Hansel will most likely face the new charges at his March 3rd hearing. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder has authorized the pursuit of the death penalty against Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Tsarnaev is charged with the bombing of the Boston Marathon last April that killed 3 and wounded 260 more. Tsarnaev does not yet have a trial date.
SunTrust Bank announced that it would close its South Main Street branch on May 2nd. A SunTrust corporate spokesman says the bank's current employees may apply for other positions at SunTrust, and those unable to find positions will be offered a severance package. Customers with accounts at the City branch will have their accounts transferred to the Hunter Hill branch, which will remain open. SunTrust owns the building that houses the City branch and is looking to sell it after the bank closes.
President Obama promised in his State of the Union speech to institute new programs by executive order if Congress wouldn't work with him. The president wasted little time doing that. CNN's Jim Acosta has more on the president and how Republicans feel about his recent actions.
After days of promising to use his executive powers, President Obama put his pen to action at a Pennsylvania steel plant and signed an order establishing a new retirement program. The new MyRAs, as the White House is calling them, will allow Americans to contribute a part of their paycheck to new accounts they can tap at any time, with the savings and interest backed by the government.
I could do more with Congress, but I'm not going to not do anything without Congress. Not when it's about the basic security and dignity of American workers.
The post-State of the Union sales pitch started at a big box store in Maryland, where he unpacked another one of his executive orders, a new minimum wage for federal contract workers, something Mr. Obama said Congress should extend to the rest of the country.
It's time to give America a raise.
We look forward to having a great conversation.
The Obama administration went into full campaign mode with the new unilateral approach, as cabinet members and staffers flooded social media. But Republicans see a tidal wave of White House overreach in bypassing Congress.
You've got a pen and a cell phone, but you also have the Constitution of the United States. This is the most important document. I know the President knows this. He taught it.
At a Senate hearing, Attorney General Eric Holder argued the President is just following the lead of his predecessors.
I also want to assure you and the American people that the President will not act in a way that is inconsistent with the way other presidents have acted in using their executive authority.
Back at that steel plant, Jim Lloyd said at least somebody in Washington is doing something.
Well, we understand he's only able to do so much.
It's still unclear how many will be affected by the president's new programs, but the president isn't done promoting yet. He is scheduled to speak in Wisconsin and Tennessee today.
The days of relying on other agencies' shooting ranges are nearly over for the Rockbridge County Sheriff's Office. Plans are in the works for a new training facility that will include a shooting range. Happy Carlock has the story.
County supervisors gave their final okay January 13th to build a shooting range at the county landfill. Sheriff's deputies have been using the Lexington Police Department's range for about 25 years.
It supported us, but it's time to build our own facility and move on. And By creating our own range, it will give us the opportunity to train locally with the facilities needed.
Now Lexington Police will share the county's much larger facility. Lexington Police Chief Al Thomas thinks that it will help keep officers more consistent in their training.
If we have a larger facility, a larger location, we can start training more jointly. And I think it will make us more efficient as we have to respond to incidents together.
The range will include a 100-yard rifle range, a pistol range, an observation deck, and a classroom. It will be used only for law enforcement and will not be open to the public. Several nearby counties have shooting ranges on their landfills. Rockbridge Solid Waste Director Jeremy Garrett thinks the landfill is an ideal location for the range.
We've had very little to no outcry from any neighboring property owners because they're used to this facility being here and they understand the shooting range won't have a great impact.
Garrett says the landfill has natural buffers and embankments, and the closest house is about a quarter of a mile away. County resident Eric Sheffield lives close to the landfill and is not concerned about potential noise. Lexington officials have agreed to help pay for the range. It will also be used to train SWAT teams.
We have so many schools in our city. We do a lot of training in case we ever have a critical incident at one of our schools. We take that very seriously in this community.
County Supervisors Chair Ronnie Campbell thinks the new range will solve another problem. Lexington's current range is in a growing area of the county.
If you look at development growth in the county, where the current range with Lexington is at, that area of the county is growing.
The range would be the Sheriff Department's first building operation, but Garrett has high hopes for the county's project.
We have grand ambitions, along with the building that you're in right now, to not just look at this as a solid waste landfilling operation, but over the years look at it more of a campus type operation.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Happy Carlock.
Rockbridge County Administrator Spencer Suter says the plan is not included in this year's budget, but it is moving in that direction.
Former Buena Vista Fire Chief Butch Lawhorn was indicted by Buena Vista's grand jury 2 days ago on 50 counts of forgery and 27 counts of obtaining false pretenses. Lawhorn is charged with forging certificates for a swift water rescue class he wasn't certified to teach, accepting tuition for those classes. The 38-year-old will face an April 7th hearing. Former Governor Bob McDonnell's lawyers filed a motion earlier this week to clarify a judge's ruling that McDonnell could have no contact with potential witnesses in his case. McDonnell is charged by the federal government with accepting improper benefits. The defense is arguing that potential witnesses include family, longtime friends of the McDonnells. Prosecutors have said they will allow McDonnell to talk to family, but no other witnesses. This motion came shortly after the state of Virginia dropped its case against the former governor.
After the break, we'll hear if the cold is here to stay or if the weekend will bring warmer temperatures. Marielle LaFair has our forecast.
And later on, we'll hear about a local charity that raised money for a cause that hits close to home. That and more on the Rockbridge Report.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah. That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Yeah. Visit safercar.gov/the-right seat to make sure your child is protected.
6, 5, 4.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course. This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. A snowstorm has blown across the southeastern United States the past few days, leaving many stuck on the roads, unable to get home. CNN reporter Nick Valencia braved the storm.
They're images and accounts of weather hell. Motorists stranded on roads, hours seeming like eternity, desperate for food and water.
Well, I've been out here ever since about 4:30 yesterday evening, and traffic's at a standstill.
Drivers trying to control cars spiraling out of control.
I was just coming across the bridge, and all of a sudden the truck went squirrely, and I ended up down over the bank.
Huddled masses in chairs on floors in Walgreens and Home Depot stores, which opened to stranded strangers, and parents separated from their children. The weather forcing thousands of students to spend the night in schools.
I was super scared. I was like, if I don't get home to my parents, I'm going to freak out.
Weather horrors unfolded from Louisiana to North Carolina as snow and ice and sleet conspired against areas not used to the mess. In some regions, nightmares turned fatal. In Atlanta, 940 confirmed accidents, the city's mayor defending his actions amid outrage.
You know how angry people are at you.
No, well, I don't feel that people are angry at me. I think that they have a great deal of frustration.
Who made the decision to allow schools to let out, businesses to let out, and government offices to let out all the things?
I would say there are 1.1 million people in the city, and all of those people left at about the same time, which caused a massive traffic jam that caused a great difficulty.
The sun is out and the ice is slowly melting in Atlanta today as a lot of motorists head home. The city still has over 2,000 abandoned cars to deal with, not to mention questions about their emergency planning. Lexington also saw some snow earlier this week, but thankfully the city was better prepared than some. Last week, Washington and Lee canceled class due to several inches of snow, but this Tuesday wasn't the case. Lexington kept its roads fairly clear, allowing citizens to still be able to drive around town. There is still some snow and ice on city sidewalks, so caution is encouraged.
Cold has been the norm for Rockbridge County lately. Marielle LaFair has the weather for this coming week. Any chance you won't be freezing, Marielle?
Haha, I'm happy to report that things are looking up, with temperatures reaching in the mid-50s this weekend. But for now, let's take a look at what's going on outside. It's currently 29 degrees out, but there was a high of 36 earlier today. 36 earlier today. Those 7-mile-per-hour wind gusts might be making it feel a bit colder than it actually is. Overnight tonight, we can expect temperatures dropping down into the low 20s, although after all this rain, I'm sure you'll be happy to hear there is a 0% chance of precipitation. Our neighbors in Western Virginia are experiencing similar conditions with temperatures hovering in the high 20s and mid to low 30s. As I mentioned earlier, and as you can see now, there is a 0% chance of precipitation on our radar. Looking ahead to the 5-day forecast, you can see that things will be warming up quite a bit. Tomorrow's high is 46, and it will be partly sunny. On Saturday and Sunday, we can expect temperatures reaching 50 degrees, although it will be slightly overcast. Monday and Tuesday are also going to be slightly overcast, and the temperatures will be around in the low 40s. And Tuesday, there is a slight possibility of rain. That's all we have for now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Marielle. We'll be sure to keep our coats handy. Over 2,000 households in the county are feeling the effects of recent cutbacks to the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. Local food pantries are among those bracing for what comes next. Logan Hendricks has a story.
Local families are among more than 900,000 Virginians who have been affected by the cuts in SNAP, what used to be called food stamps. Rockbridge Area Director of Social Services, Meredith Downey, is concerned.
Many people lost, somewhere between $13 and $19 a month in food stamps or SNAP. People that are on Social Security disability often were only receiving $13 to $15 a month, and they were closed out. And for them, that makes quite a bit of difference.
Rockbridge Area Relief Association Executive Director Kitty Brown says she has noticed a difference at the food pantry since the SNAP cutbacks.
Between October 31st and December 31st, we gained 99 new families. I think a great many of those were due to the SNAP cutback. We currently serve an average of 600 families a month. We've been fortunate to keep well stocked during the year of 2013, and right now are still well stocked.
More than 20% of people in the Rockbridge area are considered poor, but fewer than 10% get SNAP benefits, according to a study by the University of Virginia.
I've never seen it this bad, never. We've got to have some industry in here, and we have to have some trades training. We need people in plumbing and electricity and heating and air conditioning, nursing. There's a lot of jobs listed for Lexington, but the requirements are way above what the majority of our folks have.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Logan Hendricks.
Ra's Food Pantry is open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 2:30 to 4:30.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, find out which local charity held an event benefiting Rockbridge County's children.
And don't forget, Alexandra Seymour will update us on the county sports coming up a little later in the show. Stick with us.
So what you want to do is, have you already enrolled? You're doing fine.
What did that just do?
Select the drop-down menu again. Continue to site. You're already enrolled. Example here, so don't panic. You're ready to make your payment. Submit. There it is. Oh my God!
I really can't believe it.
That's awesome. Good for you.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Buena Vista pastor Larry Clark is facing more charges of sexual crimes against minors. Clark was first arrested back in November of 2013. He was released on bond, but then arrested again in December. Clark is facing up to 28 counts of sexual misconduct against 3 different male victims. He could be facing up to 10 years in prison if convicted of those charges. Bond was set at $200,000 earlier this month, but as of now, Clark is still being held in the Rockbridge Regional Jail facility. Clark recently changed attorneys and is scheduled for a preliminary hearing in Rockbridge Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court on February 25th. Owners of a new restaurant in Lexington say they want to bring a more urban feel to downtown. Waringa Kamau has more on the story.
Nathan Fountain and his wife Leslie already own Briggs Restaurant on East Washington Street. But Nathan says he wanted to bring something new to town with Mano Tequila.
Every place in town, I think, tries to, well, I suppose, except for with some exceptions, has a little bit more of an upscale feel to it. What we were looking for here was to be a little bit more hip, a little bit more urban, and that's something that I don't think any place in town is doing.
The opening of Mano on West Nelson Street took longer than expected. Nathan attributes the delays to construction challenges and inspection delays. But since it opened earlier this month, the restaurant has become a favorite for some of Washington and Lee students and professors.
It's really nice to have another restaurant within walking distance of campus. It took me like only 5 minutes to get here right after class from walking. A lot of students don't have cars here, so we always like having another option close to campus.
Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Sammy Moore is confident that Mano will do well because of its get-in, get-out service. And not surprisingly, Moore likes any new business in the city. Even with 3 other Mexican restaurants in the area already, Nathan thinks his is unique.
It's very different. There's not, particularly in downtown, there's no quick service establishments. Everywhere downtown is full service. And I wanted to have some place that people could come in and get out for a reasonable price, whereas the other the Mexican restaurants in town are all for full service as well.
The assistant manager of one of those restaurants isn't worried about competition.
I honestly think that we have some very good, loyal customers in here, and there's many restaurants around here, and it haven't affected us at all. If we keep doing what we're doing now, I think we'll be just fine.
Leslie Fountain says there are plans to keep Mano open late on weekends.
Eventually what we will do is probably start opening up a late night service Friday and Saturday till about 2 a.m. And that's to offer people coming from other bars that have been drinking a little bit some food to put into their stomach.
Students are already excited about that.
I think it's a great idea because I think the only thing that's really open after midnight right now is Sheets, and to have something else, like another option, an option that's like, instead of just quick, like food that's all right, food that's really, really good, will be great. I think that they'll probably crush it with college kids coming in here.
For the Rockbridge Report, I am Morinka Kamal.
Rockbridge area school administrators and teachers say they are hopeful that 2014 will be a year of educational reform in Virginia. 2 delegates have proposed legislation to reduce the number of standardized tests required of Virginia students. The Virginia Standards of Learning tests begin in 3rd grade and continue through high school. Students take 34 tests by the time they graduate, but the proposed law brings that number down to 26. A few Waddell Elementary School teachers say they hope these changes will happen soon so that they can stop teaching to the test.
Washington and Lee University's campus kitchen fills backpacks with food for hundreds of Rockbridge area school kids. On Sunday, about 600 local people helped as well by treating themselves to soup. Has the story.
Students and community members flocked to Evans Dining Hall for the 2nd annual Super Bowl. S-O-U-P Super Bowl. Get it? They sipped clam chowder, tomato basil, crab bisque, and other offerings from 19 local restaurants.
It's a good cause. First of all, it's a good cause. Secondly, we love soup. But this is our first time. This is the first time, but it won't be the last.
The $7,600 the event raised will help W&L's Campus Kitchen hand out backpacks filled with food each Friday to nearly 700 local kids. Any student who receives school-subsidized meals is eligible for a backpack.
A lot of those kids rely on school lunch for the Monday through Friday meals, and so being able to have some food items for the weekend just helps, ensure that they're going to have something to eat until they're back in school.
The backpack program began in 2009 at Natural Bridge Elementary School. Today, backpacks are delivered to 12 locations in the Rockbridge area. That includes all 7 elementary schools. Natural Bridge Elementary School guidance counselor Veronica Bateman says her students look forward to receiving their backpacks every week.
Kids will always ask me, they'll see me going down the hallway or whatever, Mrs. Bateman, am I getting a bag this week? Did you put it in my locker? They get excited.
19 local restaurants prepared and served their soups on Sunday. Frankie Benacasa of Pronto Gelateria took part for the first time.
This is a nice combination to help out a little bit and to feed people.
General Manager of Pure Eats, Casey Potter, says the Super Bowl is the perfect way to support the community.
This is a wonderful opportunity, especially for Pure Eats to give back. So we're really excited about this. I have 2 children in the school system, and so I know how important it is for students to have, or for kids to have a warm meal over the weekend.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Carolyn Holtzman.
Up next, Alexandra Seymour will tell us which former Rockbridge County Wildcat had a stellar game this week. Stay tuned for more Rockbridge Report.
when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled between
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
3, 2, good? Okay. Yeah. 4.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day.
I had him fix it. 10.
That's a line of desks, more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
It's a big week for sports, not only in Rockbridge County, but nationally as well. Alexandra Seymour has everything you need to know about your local teams. Alexandra?
Thanks, Stephen. But the first game I want to talk about has the whole country abuzz. That's right, I'm talking about the Super Bowl. The AFC champion Denver Broncos against the NFC champion Seattle Seahawks. There's a lot of noise being made about who's better, the Seahawks defense and corner Richard Sherman or the Broncos offense and Peyton Manning. One thing is for sure, this Sunday is going to be a heck of a game. Watch these two teams kick off at 6:25 p.m. It was another week of rescheduling for Rockbridge County's basketball teams thanks to the snow. Rockbridge County High School and Perry McClure were slated to renew their rivalry in boys and girls basketball earlier this week. The weather had other plans, however, and the boys' game has now been moved. The Rockbridge County and Perry McClure boys' game, originally scheduled for Tuesday, has been moved to Wednesday, February 12th at 7 p.m. The Rockbridge County and Perry McClure girls are scheduled for Monday, February 10th at 7. If the lack of high school games left you craving some basketball, the area's colleges didn't disappoint. The VMI men's basketball team won a barn burner on Tuesday at conference rival UNC Asheville. The Bulldogs got a combined 62 points from their guard tandem of Jaron Lane and Andrew Rousey. That's right, former Rockbridge County hoop star Andrew Rousey scored 35 points against VMI. The Keydets backcourt of Rodney Glasgow and QJ Peterson proved too much for the freshmen. Glasgow and Peterson combined for 72 points as VMI went on to win 109-105. Washington and Lee's men's team took the floor in Roanoke last night. The Generals desperately needed a win to end their 4-game losing streak. The Maroons, however, didn't get the memo. Roanoke out-rebounded the Generals 45-21, including 17 offensive boards to W&L's 2. The Blue and White did get 20 points from sophomore guard Clay McLean, but it would prove to be not enough as Washington and Lee lost 62-69. SVU's men's team is on the road playing Christopher Newport tonight. The Knights are in the middle of a 4-game skid, most recently losing this past Saturday at home against Wesley College. That game will tip off at 6:30 tonight. A lot of women's basketball action is going on tonight. SVU's women's team will take the court before the men at Christopher Newport. The Knights lost on Monday to the Apprentice School and are looking to rebound against the Captains tonight. That game will tip off at 4:30. Washington and Lee's women's team will suit up tonight at home. The Generals are riding a 2-game winning streak going into tonight's game against Salem. This should be a good test for W&L as Salem owns an impressive 15-game winning streak. That game is set to start tonight at 7. That's all we've got for this week's sports. Take a break, kick your feet up, and enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. I'm Alexandra Seymour.
Thanks, Alexandra. It will be exciting to see if SVU's teams can pick up a couple of wins on the road.
That's all we've got for you for this week's edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Kinsey Grant.
And I'm Stephen Young. Check us out on the web at www.rockbridgereport.washingtonlee.net.